I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels like home.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on the Feels Like Home podcast this week. This month is Developmental Disabilities Month, where we try to raise awareness for inclusion of the folks with intellectual and other developmental disabilities. And we're excited to have on two ladies that are in this field and doing great work. Lacey Derexson is the Community Outreach Director of Ross DD at Pioneer Center. And then Courtney Davis is Special Projects and Special Olympics Director with Ross DD as well. And you probably know these young ladies. They're amazing folks. Courtney, of course, was a basketball star at Zane Trace and is back in her hometown doing some great work. And then Lacey's story, as I think you'll hear here this time around, is pretty neat. And this whole thing kind of evolved because I will be participating on March 29th in the Ross County Special Olympics Celebrity Basketball Game, which is at 6 o'clock at Chillicothe High School there in Hatton Gym. And it's a free entry to get in. We ask for donations, but I'm going to be playing, of all things, in that. And so that's kind of how it started. And then we started talking about Special Olympics and this being DD month. And the next thing you know, the ladies were here. So we hope you enjoy this conversation. These ladies are tremendous and they bring a lot of energy and passion to what they do. So here it is. Courtney Davis and Lacey Derexson from Pioneer Center. But it is great to have with us tonight. Hey, it's, in case folks don't know, it's Developmental Disabilities Month. And not only do we have Lacey Derexson here, who's our Community Outreach Director, is that correct?
Correct. Of
Pioneer Center, but we also have Courtney Davis from Ross County Special Olympics. Is your title Executive Director in charge of all things Special Olympics? That would be a really hard thing to fit on a business card. But.
Yes, my formal title is Special Olympics and Special Projects Director. Wow. So it's very, very long. Yes.
And I'm proud to say that in keeping with the strong tradition of the show, Courtney is another in a long series of Zane Trace graduates who have appeared on the podcast. So all of you Zane Trace folks, we had a little gap there for a little while, but we're catching back up. So, but where did you go to school, Lacey?
Southeastern.
Okay,
I'll start a trend.
Let's start a trend.
Yep. We got to get that rolling.
We want to show all the schools love.
Yeah. I have two Southeastern graduates myself, two of my daughters. So, you know. Anyhow,
we just can't help the quality of people that come out of St. Trace.
I know. It's great. And you've gotten us into the city.
That's right.
You've pulled us into.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we did give you a promise of free food tonight at the Chamber BAB, so maybe that was what drew you in. Well, I think it's really exciting to have you guys on, especially this month, mainly because I love what you're doing with starting, I guess, kind of reinvigorating this Special Olympics program and formalizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I think all the things that we're doing with DD Month. And I'll tell you, this year I was really impressed with the array of activities that you have. We'll talk about food trucks and, and I know that you had a special moment today with Special Olympics. So, but let's go ahead and start with Special Olympics because I think one of the things that I found out as I was kind of looking into all this was we did have a Special Olympics program, but there really wasn't anything formal about it. We kind of have pieces and bits, right? Mm-hmm. So how are you charged with kind of formalizing all that, Courtney?
Yeah, so Special Olympics Ohio is kind of who controls us, and most programs are run by volunteers. So our county had just kind of saw a need that we needed somebody that could just kind of rebuild a program because everything kind of fell through after COVID. So we had a Pioneer School program that was just for our school age folks. It did a lot of day programming. And then we had an adult program, which was Ross County Public. So basically it was anybody that had graduated from Pioneer School went right into Ross County Public, and we just had a hard time connecting with public schools, and the DD education system has changed, very much in the last 20, 25 years, but even in the last 10, inclusion is, what DD Awareness Month is all about, and celebrating. And it is something to celebrate, because most of our individuals and students with intellectual, mild to moderate disabilities are now in our public school system. So our past local coordinator, Chris Hiles, just went to the board and said, hey, I need help. If we want to really build a program and be there for our community, we need board support, and we need to hire someone. And the board said, no, Special Olympics is important. And so, it's like, okay, well, we can't hire one person just to do Special Olympics. So our superintendent, Amy Beeler, wanted special projects. So, long story short, the job description's a little robust, but my position, I help each director at the Pioneer School do lots of different things, but the board really wants me to get Special Olympics up and running. So I do a lot of background stuff, and, community support is what's going to make our program thrive. And I'm so impressed with how the community has already supported us financially, and with the connections for locations to practice and play. It's an extremely rewarding position to be in, to not have to ask and beg, for help and support.
And so I know you're starting out with basketball, track as well, I think. Yeah.
So our Ross County Public program did have 2 basketball teams. So it was kind of like my learning curve. Right. And, they've, really Chris Hiles and our other coach, Bob Malone, really kind of guided me this past basketball season. And we try to do some new things. And, my goal is to treat them like elite athletes and give them a college experience, type of a collegiate experience. So now we're going into the spring season, which is April through June, and we're going to offer athletics, which is track and field and bowling, and then hopefully powerlifting. We have some athletes who want to do some powerlifting, and we have some really strong, big athletes, and I think they could do some damage at the state competition. So, yeah.
Well, that's great. And I think, is the way that you are approaching this is if like there's a need for a sport because someone wants to participate, you'll figure it out?
That is my motto.
Yeah.
You tell me what you want and we will make it happen.
That list, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's first, you need the athletes, second, you need a coach. It does take a lot of volunteers,
Sure.
with each sporting event, but, I don't foresee that being an issue. So hopefully we can give the community what they need and want.
And your background is you were an athlete yourself. You played basketball in college, I believe.
Yeah, played at University of Rio Grande and then actually coached down there while I was getting my master's degree. So really, really neat. My mother was working out at the Pioneer School, and that's kind of how I got connected with the population and the organization. And I became an independent provider through college. And so I was doing direct care. And then after I graduated, went to Columbus, and I'm like, okay, how can I take best of both worlds? Like I love helping people and being with people with disabilities, but I have this business background. So I'm thankful and grateful every single day that I get to do what I do. Because, at the end of the day, Lacey and I really truly get to go home feeling like we've made a difference.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people get to say that. So,
and doing it in your hometown, right? Like, I think that's a special thing.
Well, yeah. Cause Rio Grande, that became a bit of a community because I was down there and family because I was down there for 6 years. But then I moved to Columbus, and it's just a completely different world. Worked for Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities, but they serve like 19,000 individuals. I think here in our county, we serve
about 900.
Yeah, about 900.
1,000.
Yeah. So it's a lot smaller. And when you're from Chillicothe, you just love our city and our town, our county, and you love that small town feel. So really excited to be back to Ross County for sure.
And today, I think I mentioned this a little bit ago, but today you kind of had a really special moment. Tell me how it came about that your Special Olympians got to attend a screening of the movie today.
Yeah.
And so on.
I have to give absolutely every bit of credit to our superintendent, Amy Beeler. She is the one that has these big picture ideas, and she sees what other people are doing around the state. And she's like, hey, if they're doing it, we can do it. So Amy just kind of threw it out like, hey, let's reach out to Danbury Cinemas, see if this is something that we can do. And they were amazing. So kudos to them. They actually opened up the theater for us, gave us, I think, 2 theaters they were offering. Wow. And they ended up opening 3. So we opened it up to anybody in the community, because again, every DD event that we hold this month is about inclusion. So we want to offer it to not only people with disabilities, but people without. So we had people from Ross County, the majority, but we had a Special Olympics team from Pike County and people from their day programming come up, Pickaway County. And we probably had, I don't know, we had 3 theaters almost full. So it was awesome. Over a 2-hour movie, they brought in staff, opened up concessions for us. It was pretty spectacular.
And you screened the new Woody Harrelson movie Champions, right? Champions,
yes.
Which, of course, has a great message about inclusion
and Special Olympics and how rewarding it is to be a part of a program. And I'm thinking that there would be no reason why people would say no to volunteering with Special Olympics after seeing that movie, because it's very heartwarming.
Yeah. I will say that I last week on Mark Maron's podcast, WTF, he had Peter Farrelly, who is the director of the movie, on. And it's interesting because, a lot of people think of the Farrelly brothers, they think Dumb and Dumber or something about Mary, things like that. But he talked a lot about his background, and that in their circle of friends in Boston, they had a friend whose brother had an intellectual disability, and how they just included him. Like it never dawned on him to not include him. He played sports with them. He goofed around and did stuff they got in trouble, doing. And he said, in fact, the guy's name was Warren. And if you remember in Something About Mary, they named the guy Warren.
Oh, yeah.
It was a tribute to him because that was what he was like. Yeah. And he talked about how when they've done these movies, they'd also done The Ringer, that they went to the Special Olympics and said, here's the script, tear this up.
Yeah.
Like, we probably got some things wrong. And almost invariably it came back where they said, this is actually pretty good. I'd change these things or tweak these things, but like what you're doing is already what we want you to do, which is to act like these
We're
folks,
normal people.
They're people.
Yeah.
They're people with disabilities.
Yeah.
But they want to be treated like people.
Yeah, I think in the past that we've really created this bubble around people with disabilities so that, no risk of harm, right? We don't want them to get hurt. We don't want them to get treated differently. So we're just going to put them in this bubble. But really, like, inclusion is letting go of that bubble, letting them be just like us. And the movie really portrayed that, right? Because they talk about certain things in the movie that are like, oh gosh, but it's all right. We say that stuff. They're allowed to say that as well. So it's funny, it's lighthearted, humor, and that's a great reason of why we're friends with people with disabilities too, because they are great. They're hilarious. So they offer a lot, and it's really exciting.
One of my favorite events of 2021, I think, was when we cut the ribbon on the new playground out at Pioneer Center, and not only just the joy of the folks there, but just a sense of accomplishment that I could feel from them about folks have invested in us to give us something nice. You can't be around that for very long without feeling that. And I think it's a kudo not only to them and their families and the people that support them, but I think all the staff at Pioneer Center too, because I don't see that everywhere. And maybe I'm just not reading that right. But I feel like this group of folks out at Pioneer loves and cares for every one of these people like their own, and makes every effort to try and help them. I think to that point, Chris Hiles going to that board and saying, hey, I need your help. Yeah. And then them having the guts to say, all right, we're not going to let it go. We're going to go forward with it.
Yeah, for sure. And we have, I don't know how many staff, Lacey probably knows how many staff are out at the actual Pioneer School.
About 100.
Yeah. But we have about, 40, 50 staff just here at admin. And it's, a lot of our community don't even realize like what the Pioneer Center does. But we have about, around 40 case workers, case managers that work with our individuals, while they're in school, but also through their entire life, just helping them manage their Medicaid money and what services they qualify for. And you're dealing with the Department of Medicaid, and Department of DD and state and tax funds. And it's a job.
It's very complicated.
It is.
Sure.
And if you don't care, you're not in this business for the money. I'll tell you that. And if you don't care, you're not going to make it. So it's unbelievable. It's just remarkable how much our staff care. And I wish our community could know more about them and how much they put into their jobs. But
yeah, I think that one of the things that you get a chance as a volunteer at events. When I was in high school, I got asked to help out with the bowling event.
Yeah.
And that turned into 6 or 7 years of volunteering at the track and field events and the bowling events. And there were, 3 years in, I was seeing the same people, and they would remember me. And there was this one little girl that was like, I was going to help her bowl every year. And like that made a gigantic impact on me as a 19-year-old.
Sure.
I think that helping people see, that's a great way to see what the Pioneer Center does, right? Is come in and be a volunteer.
Right.
So are there lots of opportunities for people to do that?
For Special Olympics, absolutely. We have to build, a solid base of volunteers. So that's something I'm currently working on, and, we'll continue to work on. Now, I know Lacey maybe has some ideas for...
Yeah, so Lori Graves is going to be working on setting up our Friends and Allies Network again, something we've had previously, but not really seen it all the way through, I think. And that will be for anything. So any of our events that you see us at in the community, we always need volunteers for those, not just for Special Olympics. And so that'll be something where you can sign up. There will be an email group, a Facebook group, and on all of those kinds of things. So every time we have something, there will be interest from the community to come in and do that. So
yeah, and our whole population right now is struggling with a direct care provider shortage, right? And so the more volunteer opportunities that we can have, the getting the younger generation involved with our population, it will create opportunities for them to think, oh, I can have a career in this. So I think the more that we can do with volunteers would just better our entire community.
And on the 29th, first of all, I got to say, I had a little bit of a bone to pick with you because literally you were a college basketball player and you are not playing in the event. Is that what? So let me back up because on the 29th of March, I have been asked. I actually reached out to Marty to see if Marty would join me on this thing. It's I even hesitate to use the word celebrity because it's not a celebrity thing. It's a Special Olympics charity basketball event, essentially, where a group of us are going. I'm not going to say celebrity, even though I keep saying it. It sounds weird. Anyhow,
well, we have Darren Barris playing. Okay,
yeah,
he's
right,
a celebrity.
Right. And the mayor
covers
the mayor,
the celebrity part.
Yes.
So I had to, since I know where I'm at as a person in my life at almost 55. I had to go out and get a ringer, so I went out and got Aubrey Hernstein to play, who played Division I basketball at Wichita State. So my job is to get out of her way.
Give her the ball.
Give her the ball.
Yeah, she's like, well, everybody knows my husband, Bart. And I said, no offense, Bart, but who cares?
Yeah.
You played Division I basketball. And she goes,
right.
20 years ago. So I think that when we say celebrity basketball game, I think the first thought to most people's minds are like, oh my gosh, is Ben Hartsock coming back? Or all these athletes. Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow.
That's a good thought.
And we hope that this continues year after year, but our celebrity definition is really just people that, are really invested in our community. And, we took nominations from the community on Facebook. So it wasn't us sitting there thinking about these people. So just a really cool way to kind of get a community event that really highlights the people that do a lot of behind the scenes work and don't get the credit a lot of the time. Elected officials and.
So 6 o'clock, right, at Hatton Gym.
Yep, doors open at 6 p.m. It is free admission. Now, we're encouraging donations because that's going to go to our program. Right. And for every $5 that a person donates, they actually are going to get entered into the Knights of Columbus annual cash bonanza. And they give Knights of Columbus are major supporters of Special Olympics.
Nice.
Yeah, so for every $5, we'll get $4 of that back.
Wow.
And they give away over $109,000 in cash prizes, and that drawing will be in May.
Yeah.
So again, as much as we want support from our community, we're going to try to help support our community as well. So the events will start at 6:30. It is actually going to be our winter sports awards ceremony. So you guys will all get to see our athletes get their awards. We are going to, we did a sponsorship campaign, and our top sponsors, which were our Chillicothe Masonic Lodge, Scioto number 6, and Homeland Credit Union and Kenworth. They'll all be recognized with a proud program sponsors plaque. And then we'll go right into the basketball festivities. And then all of our celebrities are going to get a nice participation plaque. And
which is where the talent will really come out, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At halftime, we're going to do some fun, competition games, try to get some of the crowd involved and play against some of the celebrities or our athletes. So hoping it can just be a really, really fun night.
And you've already warned the celebrities about the team does not intend to let up.
Absolutely not. They are excited. They are still practicing. Weekly to get, stay in shape and get ready for this game. They're wanting to sign autographs and
sell autographs.
Sell autographs. Yeah. So they are extremely excited. And that's what makes me feel good, that we're actually doing something for them to showcase, what they practice hard for all year long, too.
And I think at the underlying part of this here is that that sports made a difference in your life.
Absolutely.
And, I see it in my own son and my daughter who does cheerleading, but it just the way, like my older daughter, my cheerleading made her do a 180 in life. Like she had something to focus on, and it gave her purpose and meaning. Yep. And the really fun thing that I think we're seeing is when you hear these guys say, we're going to sell our autographs and we're going to do this, why wouldn't you say that? Right? Like, I see kids in high school that, little kids go up to them and ask them for their autograph.
Yeah.
What a kick and what a thrill for them to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's what's really fun for me is to be a part of this will allow me to see it close up, see what you're building. And then I think, in future years when we do this again, the sky's the limit, right? Let's keep building the program and making it great. And
and kind of the way Special Olympics is going as a complete organization is it's Unified Sports. So now you can actually create teams that have people without disabilities and people with disabilities playing together.
Right.
And that's a really cool way to think of it. If, we can build this program and then get people that want to play sport involved along with them. Yeah. That's a whole, taking inclusion to a whole different level. Right. So that's the future goal. Yeah. The big picture thing.
Well, I can't say enough about it. I think you're doing some great work, and I love the way it's already started off. You just said 2 months or whatever it was, but you've covered a lot of ground on that time frame. So I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yes.
This is big. Horizon Fiber Internet is ready.
Let them get you hooked up and power your Wi-Fi network
with the speed and reliability that only a 100% fiber network can do.
Horizon is ready to help you do what you do better. With real people, real rates, and a real service.
Connect with them today, and the first month is free, plus no contracts and no data caps. Call 740-772-8331
or visit horizonconnects.com/Chillicothe
to sign up today.
Thank you. I appreciate, your support and your agreeance to be a celebrity player.
First hard foul, though. I'm coming out. I'm not coming back in.
Oh, and Dan Ramey. Dan Ramey is our celebrity announcer.
Celebrity announcer.
see,
Wow,
yes.
okay.
He gets out of it. See,
Yeah.
I should have volunteered for that.
There you
Exactly.
go. There you
Exactly.
go.
Nobody wants to see me play basketball.
If I would have known that was an
Sorry.
option,
Yeah, there you go.
if I'd have known that was an option, I might have gone in a different direction here.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, yeah.
I appreciate the sneakiness of not telling me that was an option. So,
Yeah.
Lacey, I want to turn to you because obviously we're in the middle of DD month.
Yeah.
I've always admired the work that Pioneer does to help. I think a few years ago they did those large metal signs that said Inclusion Works. We put ours out again at the chamber this
Great.
month.
Awesome.
We've kept it, but there's just a variety of activities that you're doing. So I thought we'd go through them real quickly and just talk about exactly why you're wearing one of the T-shirts that I think are fabulous. They're one of my favorite things that you guys have done this year. So talk a little bit about how you're executing DD month here in Ross County.
Yeah, so we didn't really go with too much of a theme this year. Typically, that's something that we do. We were really just thinking more about how can we create inclusive events for our community to come in and interact with our people. That was our main goal. So left this year, we've got Food Truck Fridays every Friday. That's at our administration building on Main Street. And the purpose of that was, like Courtney said, I think a lot of people are really familiar with Pioneer School. Everybody knows that. But not a lot of people know that we do have 40 or 50 people in a building serving everybody in the county on Main Street. And so the goal was to just get people down there, let them talk to us. All of us are always there. We have some day programs bringing some individuals down and sharing their information as well. So just to kind of spread that word that, hey, we're here too. Obviously, we all love Pioneer School, but we just wanted to get that information out there too. So everybody comes for food, right? We're food motivated people. So, so that's been good. I think this week is Cheryl's House of Hope. She's going to have chicken and noodles and fish sandwiches for Lent, of course. So she'll be there, and I believe Goodwill is going to be there this week, and they'll be sharing some information, and some of their individuals will be there. Let's see, next week we have the sock skating party. So Tuesday the 21st is Down Syndrome Awareness Day. Yes, and
I have my Rock Your Socks.
Yes, so part of that is Rock Your Socks. Basically, the chromosome that creates Down syndrome it resembles a sock. That's why they chose that. So we celebrate that every year. And if you wear your crazy socks, tag us on Facebook and we'll share that. We're also having a crazy sock skating party. The Cavalier skating rink here in town approached us and said they wanted to do something to celebrate with us. And so they're allowing us to have our school kids come out during the day, and they're going to have a sock skating party. And in the evening, our adult population is going to come out and they're going to do the same thing. So we're really thankful for that partnership. It's not something we've done before, but it's going to be super cool.
So out of deference to Courtney, I'm not going to go skating because if I fall and injure myself, I can't play.
We can't have that.
No.
Definitely not. But you could sock skate.
I could sock skate.
That's safer.
I think I'd find a way to get hurt. I think I really would. My son, who's 12, is convinced that I'm going to get hurt playing basketball, and I think it's the only reason why he's going to go.
Well, we were discussing today if we should have EMS on. On site.
Listen.
Garen was the one that was concerned about that, though. Yeah.
Garen looks like he still could walk onto a football field and play.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, anyhow, sorry. I got us on the beaten track. Other things that are going on for DD.
Yeah, so then next Friday, the 24th, we have, obviously we'll have Food Truck Friday. First Capital Enterprises will be there. What's our food truck that day? I can't remember. Oh, Aloha Tacos. It's delicious. They're from Greenfield. They're wonderful. Good. Yes.
They're very good.
So they're going to be there. But also that's our party at the Elks that evening. Yes. So that's a really fun night. The entire community is invited to come out. The band Felony 4 will be there. Lori Graves is going to be emceeing and doing a little bit of comedy for us in between. So that's going to be really fun. That's one of our favorite events, and everybody has a really good time at that one. So that's just a big celebration for us, I think. And then, as you said, Special Olympics game the following week. And then to kind of end it all, we've got our awards banquet. We've got some really amazing people being honored. That's at the Ross Service Center on the 30th. And then our final Food Truck Friday on the 31st with Tasties, and our mobile smart home will be there. You can have tours through it. It's really cool. Our IT director, George Myers, will be there to walk you through that too. So Yeah.
We do have a Special Olympics fundraiser at Chipotle on the 22nd, which is a week from today. So if you can find our flyer on Facebook and on our Facebook page, and if you go in, we'll get some of the proceeds of what you spend there. And then
I can go and bulk up.
Yes,
carb load.
Yes, all the rice. And then April, I think the Masonic Lodge holds a chicken noodle dinner up at Bishop Flagey.
Yeah.
Love to have you come out and support that, because all of those proceeds go to our Special Olympics program. And then in May, we'll be at Texas Roadhouse for a fundraiser. So I'd love everybody to come like our page, because regardless if you come to an event, it's amazing to see the photos and what the athletes are doing. And then you can find all of our fundraising opportunities and stuff to be involved.
So we could go out there and share those events.
Yeah, absolutely.
On that page too.
Yep. That'd be great.
You talked about the awards banquet at the end. I believe when I was part of the Gazette, we were given an award for a media partner, I think, one year. And it was the first time that I had ever attended that event. And it's a very, it's a moving thing to be part of that. I think it's the Clark Alexander Award.
The business award.
Yeah, that was the one that we got.
Yep.
And Clark's daughter actually presented it to me.
And she's presenting again this year. Yeah.
That was
amazing.
the part that really kind of got to me. She was as proud as to give away the award as I was to get it.
Yes.
So what are the other awards that you give out?
So, we have a business award, but that's just like a really positive business partner for us. We have a provider recognition award. So that can go to an organization or an individual. This year it is going to an individual provider. We've got Service and Support Administrator Award, which, as Courtney said earlier, they're technically case managers is what everybody would kind of refer to them as. But they literally assist our individuals with every aspect of an independent and successful life, honestly. So they have a big job. So that's a new award we added this year. We've got a Distinguished Adult Award and a Distinguished Student Award. So we'll have some individuals getting awards. The Barnhart Caregiver Award, that's going to Sue Reinhardt this year. She has been in this field. Let's see, she is 83. She's subbing a lot of days at the Pioneer School still, and she's an independent provider. And I have seen that lady fall into a forward somersault and stick the landing. I mean, she has more energy than anyone I've ever met. So I'm really excited. I'll be presenting her that, and I'm more than excited to give her that award.
That's not a spoiler alert, is it?
No.
Okay,
those are all publicized, and they're out there now.
Okay. This is coming out next week. And that's before, so.
We let them all know. And then, so it's like you said earlier, we just love for the community to be able to see, how all the hard work that goes into what we do every day. And this is just a really wonderful way to do that, but also to thank some people in the community that have supported us, just like you guys and, businesses and partners. So, because we couldn't do it without those people.
Yeah, we have a Rick Marriott Award.
Yep.
That's going to one of our teachers of
37.
Amy,
she might be at like 35, Haynes. 37 years, something like that. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
What a great award named after a guy that just put his heart and soul into
Absolutely.
MD for
and he'll be
decades.
there.
And he'll be a celebrity at the game.
Rick
Marriott.
He's still very involved, right?
Absolutely.
He's not the superintendent anymore, but he was at the event that I was at just recently and things like that. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he, to know the change that he was ahead of, in our very fast changing community was amazing. So a lot of kudos goes out to Rick. He stays involved, him and his wife, and he's involved in other community clubs as well, giving back to children. So he's definitely a celebrity in our organization.
We talked about how Courtney got involved with Pioneer and so on, but what's your background at Pioneer, and have you been there for quite a while?
So I'm going on 7 years now, but I honestly had no background in this field until I had 2 children that needed services. And so I was looking for preschool services for my kids who had developmental delays, and it was so strange. I had gone on the website just to look and see who I needed to call to get them enrolled in that preschool program, and there was a job posting at the Pioneer School, and I thought, I'm just going to apply for that. They'll never hire me, right? Never. And
were you working someplace else?
I was.
Okay.
I won't mention where. But yeah, and so I miraculously got this job with absolutely zero experience in the field. Not this job that I'm doing now. And started at Pioneer School in February of 16, and I've just really never looked back. I mean, they suck you in, and you never want to leave them. They call it my sabbatical. I left and went to another school district for about 7 months, and came back really fast. Not because I had any problem where I was, but just because they get me out of bed in the morning and I missed them, and I just wanted to be there with them all the time. And so I'm really glad now I've just recently in February came to this position out of the school. And so it's been awesome to get to meet our adults. I was so school side for so long. So it's been awesome just to get to meet them and be able to have the entire community and not just be school side now. So,
and you've got to take your public relations, degree and background and, combine best of both worlds.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I think I mentioned this before, but I don't know that I meet anybody that works at Pioneer that just, it is a part of their soul. Right. And I think, this is it's a really critical time when we're cutting services in other places, or we're cutting money and funding. Ross County seems to figure it out every year, and those services continue to be provided. It's not that they haven't cut, but services to kids or services to adults has not changed from my perspective.
No.
And it sounds like we're in good hands moving forward as well. You have my friend Amy Beeler at the helm now. I think you worked with her at SOCOG too, right?
Yep.
And I think, honestly, I hope that the future is just as bright as the past has been, because Rick brought a lot to us. But now it's time for other people to put their stamp on it, right?
Yeah, for sure. And, we have to, another thing that our community, I don't think realizes, like, we run on levies, and so we are able to provide all these amazing services because of our taxpayers. So we have to continually keep thanking our community for our support, because seriously, without them, it would be a struggle.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Is stigma still a big issue with the DD community, or is it less of an issue now?
I think it's less of, but it definitely still is.
Yeah.
We've come a long way, but there's still a ways to go. So all we can keep doing is kind of thinking outside of the box. And the more we involve the people we serve, the better we can make the world. Because I think for so long we have made decisions for them. And you truly cannot understand someone's world unless you live in it. And so the more that we can learn from them, the better we'll make it.
Well, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know that you get anybody that works with your population that doesn't come away with some new thought process about them as people and them as students and them as workers.
Workers, right.
I mean, we actually use Goodwill services to clean our building at the chamber, and it's been amazing to interact with those guys when they come in on Fridays.
Yeah, some of them are our athletes.
Yeah. And so, like, it's such a cool experience that if we wouldn't have thought about redoing our contract for building cleaning, we would have probably never had that experience. But I think that can be said for a lot of different places around the community where your folks have been included in those workplaces.
Yeah.
I hear great things about a lot of different ones. We just saw I just saw the story not too long ago about the young man that works at the theater.
Yeah. Brian Park.
And I mean, just an amazing story. And that story can be repeated hundreds of times, right?
Absolutely. And where was I going to go with that? I had something community education. So they get educated because they come and work. But I think it's like jobs like Lacey and I's that that's our main priority, should be communicating or educating our community. Yeah. Because the more that people know, the better we can serve. So. Yeah.
Well, I can't speak enough about, you're both pretty new in your jobs, but representing what you represent at Pioneer Center and with Special Olympics, I think you guys have done a fabulous job already, and I can't wait to see what evolves from something kind of new, right?
Yeah.
For both of you.
Yeah.
But anytime you need our help, we're more than happy to help, except for you can't ask Marty to play ball.
Yeah. Soccer, apparently.
He can play soccer.
Can you commentate?
He can.
Okay.
But
I have you on my list already.
yeah, so I'm just not. Basketball was never my thing. I love playing basketball. I'm just not very good at it.
Yeah.
And I try not to embarrass myself in public when I don't have to.
See, I have no qualms about that. So.
And this game really is not about the basketball skill so much as just getting out there and playing.
Yeah.
But our athletes are really not going to take it easy on anybody.
That's great. That is going to be fun.
So,
I mean, in all honesty, I'm a little intimidated now. So
I can't wait.
Yeah,
That's right.
'Cause now
and that's why I'm not playing. Okay.
Now,
I'm just going to be
this
behind the scenes.
Again,
making sure everything is good.
this is why, like, I have a bone to pick with you on this because literally
Next year.
if anybody should have been playing, it should have been you.
Listen, next year you better nominate her.
That's right.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't get nominated. Oh, no, somebody did throw out my name. A Zane Trace person did. But yeah, I mean, and my
You
athletes.
deleted the comment on Facebook. Is that what you
Yeah,
did?
I had control of that. No, and I appreciate it. But our first year for the event, organizing it,
A
I
lot
wanted
to
to be
coordinate.
a lot of coordination behind the scenes. But hopefully next year I'll be able to bang around a little bit in the post area.
So I think our challenge is how do we get let's see, because if we do it during DD month every year, you don't have to worry, like the Bengals aren't playing. So
Right.
let's
It's after March Madness. We're doing it at the very end of March. So we're kind of like right in between sports. So I think it's hitting at a really good time to get the community out.
Hey, by the way, the other one that you put me out there with was Allison Basie.
Yes. Isn't that going to be fun? Just feed her the ball. That's all you got to do. Feed it to
You can
Aubrey and
pass,
Allison.
right?
I mean,
That's right.
that's actually my specialty.
Well,
Lacey.
see?
I mean, in all honesty, I'm a role player. I know my role.
Yeah. Well, we told Rick Marriott 3-point line to 3-point line. That's all he's got to
That's all I
go.
gotta do.
Okay. All right. So we might need you to go post to post at least, but
oh man,
no.
killing me. But
It's going to be great. You got Luke Feeney, you got David Jeffers. We've got Aaron Knotts and Brenton Davidson. Fire chief and detective. I mean, we've got some guys that can run. So
I play
good.
old timey baseball with Brenton.
Okay,
and
awesome.
Dan Ramey for that matter.
Okay, yeah,
We do
great.
the Adina Worthingtons up at the gardens
mansion,
every year.
yeah,
So
cool.
I'll have to. At least I'll have some kindred spirits there, so that works out pretty well.
Be great.
Well, ladies, thank you very much for coming on.
Yes.
Best of luck to you on all the things that you're doing, and most of all, continue to serve these well-deserving folks in your community because what you're doing is God's work, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Marty.
You're listening to the Feels Like Home podcast with Mike Throne and Marty Ford. Powered by Horizon. This is big. This is gig.
We don't deserve it. It feels a little strange, but I don't feel alone. We just settled in and it already feels